Yo, what's up guys, it's BKV2, Bridge Kid V2 right here, and we got some Army of 2, the Devil's Cartel demo gameplay. So the demo just came out today, and as in today, I'm talking about today, but this video is going to be released tomorrow. But oh yeah, this demo came out today, and I'll just give my impressions on this shit. Okay, now first of all, I thought this cutscene right here was badass. You know how they're killing a little Mexican Chicano, you know, Taco Cool Ranch Locos Tacos Doritos eating people. And then they open the mask, you better see real quick, hold on. Oh, and it's Big Boy and B.O.B. Oh lord, look at that. I actually thought they were gonna do terrible, but you know, they don't. Like, they're just there to be there. So yeah, they did good. But what I want to get into is that I'm a huge Army of 2 fan. You know, I like a lot of those games that are underrated in the gaming world. You know, not just your Call of Duties, Gears of Wars, and Halo. Sometimes you gotta switch it up a bit, or go for something that doesn't have as great quality or whatever. So I love Army of 2. But I think that what they're doing with the Devil's Cartel is a mistake. It is just a mistake. You know, there's good points to this game. Don't get me wrong. It's not a terrible game by far. But considering to how the Army of 2 series has been, this wouldn't be considered a strong point in the series. And the reason was because when I first heard this game being developed or whatever, I was like, where the hell is Salem and Rios? Like, I used to love using Rios and just pushing Salem's ass around the whole map, and I love their chemistry. You know, Army of 2 wasn't just about all the moves you did with co-op, the back-to-back moves, the weapon customization, the aggro and non-aggro. You know, it wasn't just about that. It was about how Salem and Rios had a chemistry together. Like, one was the funny one was the Brolic serious one, and they just came together cool. So, with no Salem and Rios, I was like, oh, so should we be getting 2 more badass characters that look nice? And then I see that they name the characters Alpha and Bravo. And then the developers go like, we named them Alpha and Bravo so we can make it feel like you're the ones that's in their shoes. Now, that may sound good at first, but when you think about it, that means that these characters will have little to no depth at all. If you're gonna put yourself in their shoes, then they're just filler characters. They don't really have their own personality. They're just here to complete the mission or whatever like that. So that's something I really don't like. They took out the integral part. Another thing I don't like as far as the game's like lifespan is that the game won't last long. You know, it's gonna drop down in prices really fast, and it won't do great in sales, mainly because they're taking out multiplayer as in team deathmatch and stuff like that. Now I know you're probably saying, oh, you know, it's Army of 2. The games like this, the multiplayer lasts like for 3 months and then the community's gone. Yes, that may be true, but that's an extra 3 months of the game's lifespan. Now, as much as I might like this game, all it is going to be considered a rental, because after you beat it, there's probably no replayability there. Yeah, maybe there might be an achievement for like completing it on another difficulty or whatever, but compared to the 40th day, I don't think this game passes on as a good what's that shit, successor to the Army of 2, the 40th day or whatever. Because the 40th day, when you think about it, they had decisions. You know, I remember it was one point where you like rescued this kid and you tried to like get him out of this hospital flooded with goons, and it was your choice in order you wanted to give him the gun or, you know, tell him to scram and you help him out. And they would show like little comic book pictures and show you like the outcome of your decision. Yes, you know, maybe it won't be cutscenes or whatever, but it had replayability. You know, you would go back and do another game just to see what these other decisions got you. That's not even in this game. You know, none of that is in there. They took all of that and they added Big Boy and B.O.B. They tried to market the game around that. But yeah, man, I really think that this game would not last. Now, there's some good points to it. You know, I do like how the graphics are better. You know, the game has aged well. and it runs on the Frostbite 2 engine, which is good. It is not a bad looking game, you know. Destructible environments are also cool. I like how you could chip off a piece of cover. You know, it really shows that the developers might care a little bit about the Army of Two franchise, which is why they're trying to put in this destructible environment. You know, getting the Army of Two series with the times that how they are now. But the weapon customization looks to be another plus. But here's something right here. You're going to see this. Remember that aggro feature that was in the previous two Army of 2s? Well, that's not in there. You know, the game said, where the developer said they wanted to focus on a more serious tone. I don't buy into that shit. You know, I think it's really because they're focusing on other games. Like, they just wanted to push Army of 2 out for some fast money. Because aggro, the whole aggro thing is really what kind of made Army of 2 a unique game. So let's explain aggro in a few sentences. Okay, so you got one person drawing fire. You know, the more fire he draws, he starts to glow red. When he glows red, it means that all the enemy's sights is on him. It's terminate on sight for that motherfucker. And then the other person is basically the one who turns into like an invisible guy and can sneak around, do sneaky moves, and kill people from behind. And you know, basically, that was the whole aggro feature, and I think that was what kind of made Army of 2. Now you saw right there, you could do like a little decision, like provide air support or stay on the ground. But that's not gonna be something that's going to make you play the game again. You know, you're not gonna finish Army of 2, the Devil's Cartel, and be like, oh man, I gotta play again because I don't want to provide air support this time. I want to stay on the ground. You know, it's not like that. So do I think EA really cares about this game now? Yeah, they tried to make it, to push it up with the times and do stuff with it like that, because basically they might be just trying to trick you. They might be trying to show that it's a great game or whatever, but really it's just gonna be a solid game at best. And I would want you to buy it because I want the Army of 2 series to prosper. I wanted to get another sequel with Salem and Rios this time and have like TDM and multiplayer modes. But I mean, I just can't. I wouldn't want you to waste your money on something that's single player only. Which is why developers tack on these multiplayer games or whatever. Actually, you know what? Word of advice. Here we go. Word of advice. Because the video's better in. This is really the real reason why developers tack on multiplayer for these games. A lot of people, we in a fucking recession right now, man. All these people, we ain't got all this money to keep on buying these games you developers are pushing out. So what they do is, they give the game a stellar single player. And they just tack on a multiplayer so that the game can at least provide replayability. You know, you're not finished with single player and left with nothing to do. So that's really why they tacked that shit on. But as for Army of 2, the demo was not bad. You know, the gameplay wasn't bad. This is probably the most tightest and precisest controls I ever seen. You know, before I might move a little to the right and then start moving right, but then they might move right like 2 more steps. You know, it's definitely not as clunky as the last two. But with all of this stuff missing, they're taking more out than what they're putting in. And supposedly it's supposed to go for a more serious turn, but come on, you really gonna fall for that bullshit? I think this sequence is pretty cool right here though. So I'll shut my mouth and have you watch it. But with that said,